and welcome to another Nikke video. I'm going to be discussing changes that should be made to improve the game. Please leave a like and a sub, and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so the very first one is going to be the skill reset system, because currently right now you cannot skill reset. Unfortunately, how they made the system is it's only for a limited time, but pretty much where this skill is on the right hand side, there's going to be a little reset option, and on top of that they do give you these skill reset items as well. But the only way you could actually use them, like for example here, I have 11 of them that I have not used, and I cannot use them because the option to use them is disabled. Then the only way they could be enabled is by the developer enabling them for a very specific time, and the time is a very short duration. Yeah, this really needs a rework. They need to do it where we could basically reset them at any time as long as we have those items. How we could obtain those items is maybe through rewards, you know, through our weeklies or dailies. I know they want to limit how much skill resets we have, because example for Haran, I want to reset her skills, but I cannot. There's also some Nikkes I want to reset too, but I cannot do it because even though I have the item, the ability to reset the skill is not present. Also, besides not having the items, I mean, another thing they can do too as well, I mean, I know not a lot of people are going to be liking this, but even currently right now we could reset our Nikkes at any point for very, very cheap gem cost. I mean, they could do something like that as well, but I think they should just let us reset the skills at any point as long as we have those items. Yeah, because I want to use those skills resets, but I can't. And the second point I wanted to make is being able to power up our R rank Nikkes and SR rank Nikkes, because right now there are a lot of good design Nikkes on the R ranking that unfortunately we cannot use for at any point, just because they are so weak skill wise. I mean, you would not want to use them at all. You see, because they cannot compete with the SSRs at all. Like, there's no chance for they could even compete. A lot of the designs are really, really good, especially my favorite here, Idol Sun. She is very fantastic. She has a nice shooting pose as well, but pretty much, and she also has twin tails too, which that's also fantastic. But yeah, she will never be able to be used because one, her stats are very weak, and two, a lot of their skills are very, very pathetic. So I hopefully they add a system. I mean, there's plenty of systems in other games. They could maybe do a rebirth system, or if do a rework of their skills. They could because even if they power up the R rank and SR and SR rank Nikkes, unfortunately the stats themselves aren't going to cut it. They're going to have to actually enhance their abilities, guaranteed. Like, there's no doubt about it. So hopefully the game does get something implemented like that, because yeah, a lot of their designs are really nice. It's just that, yeah, we'll never see these Nikkes used outside unless for very specific purposes. Other than that, yeah, they're pretty much just stuck in your roster, just collecting dust, unfortunately. And the third improvement they can make to the game is going to be a bar that's maybe somewhere here on either side that's going to allow us to search for Nikkes. I know we could just look at them manually here, and I know they also do have these filters here, but there are some Nikkes that I know by name, but I don't know the manufacturer, and sometimes I forget their burst too. But it'll be very, very handy to have like a search bar here, and we could just type something, you know, if we need to search for example, Drake or Dorothy or Biscuit or whoever you need to search for. We can just go ahead and type their name in some way, and then that way it's just going to go ahead and show up here on the screen, no problem. And the fourth thing that they could do to improve this game too would be basically searchable skills, or you could actually filter the skills. So a few of the methods that were thought up were going to be like, I know they have this stuff here that we could filter them through attacker, defender, support, but I think they need to do something else even better, because even with these they don't provide a lot of filtering, unfortunately. Some of the filtering parameters could maybe be healer, buffer, debuffer, for example, or if not, they could even do something that that would be more specific. So if you look at a lot of these things, maybe you could filter by this specific here, like anything that has cooldown, anything that has a previous effects triggered repeatedly, for example, or maybe cover HP, like something like that. That they would have something here, because there's a lot of Nikkes in this game, and some people don't even realize that some of these Nikkes have other skills that can help other Nikkes. For example, even here for Quincy, you know, she has stuff for max HP up, and this for the highest attacking unit. So she could technically help even 2B if it's set up correctly, of course. But there are other Nikkes that would help her out more, but that's one possibility that maybe people didn't realize, like, hey, you know, I could have actually used this Nikke on for this specific team here. So hopefully they do add some of those filters later on. Another thing too that this game needs to do is with the co-op. What they need to do is they need to do a rework on the co-op, and by a rework I mean is being able to filter or maybe tag yourself or maybe put an indicator that you want to basically kill the boss really quickly. So maybe like a quick kill indicator, because right now, especially for myself, there's a lot of times that I do not try on the tower on the co-op. You see, for example, I try at least one time and then I just fall off, and I just really just want to complete the boss really quickly. And sometimes you can make that very apparent by depending on what Nikkes you choose. But sometimes I just want to complete the stage really fast, so sometimes I just choose Scarlet or Modernia and just wipe it out, and I just don't even try after that. So hopefully they add something, so then that way at least it tells players, hey, you know, I just want to complete this really quickly and then leave. Do not try hard. I just want to get the max rewards. You know, don't waste your time. Or if not, also the second thing they could also add to the co-op would be a burst vote, because right now you could actually indicate what burst you want to use. But even if everybody does vote, or I mean, which unfortunately a majority of the people do not vote as well, as long as it's a majority or after a certain amount of time, it's gonna force that burst to go ahead and go through. Because some people do want to try, and then I don't know why some people do not even see that the burst is going on, and it just wastes the burst and wastes everybody's time, especially if you're trying to get max rankings on pubs. I know on teams you could easily set it up on a party yourself, and you don't have to worry about anything I've just said. But a majority of the time, people are just doing pubs. They're just doing a public match, and they have to deal with public chaos. So hopefully this is something that they do with co-op that I think would improve the game, no problem. And another thing that I was brainstorming too, and was going to be here through the tribe tower. I know that we have these 5 total, which would, one is going to be the general tribe tower, and then the 4 specific manufacturers. Later on, hopefully they add this. I know if you already been in the later chapters of the game, we have already been to Eden. I know they talk about that they have better tech and all this other stuff. I'm hoping they would do one of 2 things. One of them being the abnormal tower. Yes, I know it does not make sense lore-wise to have an abnormal tower. And it's going to cause one of 2 problems. One is that depending on what time you actually join the game, you're not going to have any of these abnormal units at all. So there'll be no chance you could even tackle the tower. So one way around that I was thinking of is it would give you the ability to use them in some form just for that tower. That's it. You wouldn't be able to use them outside of the tower. So then that way the players that did not participate or that joined late in the game could actually at least participate in that tower. The second thing that I was thinking of as well is that they're going to include this new tower. Hopefully they do include it, which I just dubbed it as a special tower. Which pretty much what my idea on that for the special tower is that it's going to be random rules and restrictions on it. So every day it's going to be these rules. Maybe they'll say, hey, no attacker units, or no fire units, no thunder units, no units that could heal, no units that could repair cover, no units that, for example, something like that. That way, because right now with the tribe towers, once you get to a certain point, like for me, a lot of these towers I cannot progress without either raising my equipment level, my bond level, or if not, even the Nikke levels and also the skills as well. So I'm pretty much hard-walled right now where I'm at. And also the special tower as well, what it's going to do, it's going to reset every day, and there's going to be daily rankings. So on the rankings, you'll be able to see who got the top ranking of the day, and pretty much that ranking is going to be reset every day. It's pretty much more for bragging rights. And then that way it gives more joy to the tribe towers. Yeah, because right now it's just a drag doing them. Once you reach your maximum level, that's pretty much it. So I really do hope that they do fix these tribe towers, so then that way it makes people want to do more of them. Another thing too that I was brainstorming as well is going to be through the shops, and the shop itself, the 3 main one is going to be the Union, Arena, and Mileage. So first I'll go ahead and go to the Union shop here. I know that a lot of people have already talked about the Union shop, you know, the gripes with it, but I'm just going to go ahead and mention it in this video. The body labels, these prices need to come down. I know for the top unions in the game, like for every region, they don't really have problems getting any of these spare bodies or even into these batteries. But unfortunately for those players, which there is a lot of players that are not having those top rankings in the union raid, which is going on right now, as long as they bring some of these prices down, I mean, even if they bring it down 10,000 for the regular rehabilitation units, and maybe even 15 or probably 15,000 for Nihilister, because I know they want to make pilgrims a little bit more expensive. At least bring it a little bit down. I know they're not going to bring it a lot down, but because that way, I mean, it's nice having these units, but I know a lot of people, they want to improve their units, and having it at this price, it's a little iffy. I mean, here I'm at 16,000 right now. I haven't really decided what I want to do yet with them. That's why I have them set. If not, I mean, the cubes, I know at a certain point, once you get your cubes at a certain level, I know they become less of a priority. But still, I mean, how I just mentioned earlier, really, that's only if you're in the top ranking of your unions, you know, in terms of the rankings, that you'll easily get the cube upgrades, no problem. But for a lot of players, yeah, it's sort of like a very big mountain they have to climb. And this is more about the players enjoying the game and not having to feel so stressed out about not having those cubes and not feeling like they can't compete because they're so far behind. Yeah, so hopefully they do fix this part of the shop here. The other one that I was talking about is the arena shop, because pretty much right now with the arena shop, the only thing really to buy is going to be these manuals here. And even then with the manuals, yeah, they're really not that required that much. I mean, I know that you need them to level up your burst every now and then. You see right here, I have almost I have a little over 1,600 here. You know, you just collect them. But unfortunately with the skill level ups, I think it's a skill manual 2 or burst manual 2. I forgot which book, but one of them you're pretty much hard walled because we do not get enough of those. So you're actually going to be collecting more of these elemental books, no problem. You're going to have overflowed with them eventually, like I am. And only that, these equipment that you have here, I know that they're there to help players, but the cost for them, and not only that, is as you eventually go more into the game, these become less of a priority, unfortunately. And honestly, they're not even worth it at all. Because as soon as you get farther into the story, you're going to be getting the golden version of the armor. I mean, not the, obviously not the T9M here. Yeah, but I feel like this is like a new player trap. So they see this and like, oh, it's going to help me on my campaign. But even when you get this on the campaign, you actually get better armor through the campaign, or if not, even through the regular interception, you actually get better armor through there, and you get more of them as well. So there's really no point in even having any of this armor besides upgrading. But even then, you could use this. Like even the currency that we get, you have to be pretty high up in the PvP just to get a good amount. So a lot of these new players won't even get the amount that I have here, just because they're so far behind. So hopefully they do either add, you know, they could add more better armor here. They could reduce the prices. Yeah, they need to do something with this shop. I just feel like it's pretty much abandoned. Like this was like their first run of the shop, and they just left it at that. And for the mileage shop, I already made a whole video about it. If you guys want to check it out, like pretty much there's a big problem with it. I'm just gonna summarize that video for you guys, but pretty much they just need to add more Nikkes to the rotation, because a lot of the new units, I think the only Nikke they have added here since since the inception of this shop is Ri. That is the only Nikke they have added. Everybody else who had came out since the game started has not been added. For whatever reason. Yeah, that really needs to be fixed. And that's pretty much it for the shop. Yeah, hopefully those shops get fixed. And then the next up that I was brainstorming as well, it's gonna be the core dust and battle data. And it's more specifically the battle data. See, because I have getting close to 5,000 1-hour cases. You see, which is almost gonna net me 1,800,000,000 battle data, and that's just in 1 hour. That's not in the other stuff as well. Yeah, they need to do something with this battle data. I think it's more of an issue way later in the upgrades, but just right now they're pretty much collecting dust. I was thinking of maybe something they could do is maybe something like an exchange system where, like, you know, every 10 or 100 or whatever ShifTup's gonna do, probably a high number if they do happen to do it, you know, battle data cases, you get one of something. You know, you get probably gonna be core dust most likely. At least we're able to use the battle data for something, because right now, even if I would level up my Nikkes and, you know, use all the stuff that I have here and level them up, I'm pretty much going to be hard walled with whatever core dust I have right now. So I'm still going to have an excess amount of battle datas, and that's going to allow us to alleviate at least some of the issues with the core dust. But yeah, we need a lot of core dust. Hopefully they do give us more options to get core dust. Pretty much the only other way is to reset these outpost defense and keep on wiping. to get more of them, or doing the dispatches and constantly reloading what dispatch mission you have so you get core dust. I mean, that's what the whales do, the really top rank whales there. But other than that, I mean, this has to change somehow. I mean, we need to use these battle datas in some way, and hopefully they allow us to exchange them, because that would be the best thing that for the players, that is. I know ShiftUp has other things. The ninth thing that I was brainstorming is the loading screens. Oh my, there is so many loading screens in this game. For example, if I want to look at all the cubes, which I know I could look at it through the Nikkes themselves, but if I want to get an overview of the example of all the harmony cubes, this is really the only spot to do it, and it allows me to easily see without having to click on every cube. You know, I could easily go through this, yeah, they're just way too many loading screens. They need to either optimize the game to either load less, or if not, they need to do it where you don't have to click so many menus. Like even here, if I want to even advise my Nikkes, I would have to go here. See, so I clicked on the outpost, then I have to click on command center, click on enter, wait for it to load, click on advise, and then yeah, so they're just way too many menus, way too much loading. I know some players are frustrated because they feel that their dailies take too long, just because, hey, there's like so many loadings. If I want to do my dailies, go to simulation room, I have to click on simulation room, wait for it to load, click on begin simulation, click on the rankings, and it's just there's too many menus. There's way too many menus. The menus really need to be clamped down, or it needs to be streamlined in some way. Yeah, it's just way too many menuings and way too much loading screens. So that needs to get remedied for sure. And the last thing that I was brainstorming, which actually doesn't really have to do too much with the game, but I know it's everybody's gripe: CD keys. This is a very big issue where I've talked to other people, read forum posts. Some players have already given up redeeming CD keys. They see one, they know it's either expired or the time has ran out. This is plain unacceptable for any player. I play this game a lot. This is plain unacceptable, and this needs to be changed. It should have been changed a long time ago. They should either do one of two things, or they should actually do both. One, put a time limit, tell us a time limit. Honestly, it should be at least 24 hours. But it should actually be more, but I'm hoping for at least 24 hours. And two, either make it unlimited, or if not, tell us what the limit is. Just say, hey, there's only 10,000 uses, for example, or something. And then that way it doesn't lead players, like hoping, oh, I'm going to have this 100 gem, 200 gem, 300 gems, or resources for free. They type in the code and it just doesn't work. And then everybody has to say, oh, they already expired. And everybody pretty much thinks that the codes have already expired. They see one, it's already expired. Yeah, so those are my 10 major gripes that I found with this game, that I feel if they improve them in some way, shape, or form, it's going to give a much greater player experience, and it's going to lead to a lot less frustration. Because I know, especially for newer players, right now it seems like Mount Everest with a lot of the content. They see everybody clearing all this content. We have a bunch of the top tier Nikkes, and we could clear everything. But for the newer players, I mean, especially for a lot of you that first started, how rough simulation mode was, where a lot of us had to get multiple power-ups just to beat the hardest stage so we could get all the resources in there, or if not, even special interception. Come on, I know you guys remember the time where you had a noise dodge. I know you remember that time. Or if not, I know some of you, I'm not gonna say any names, that maybe abused that old Gravedigger glitch. Remember where it was attacking and it would just freeze if you burst at a certain time? Yeah, don't worry, I'm not gonna say nothing, but yeah, trust me, I've been there, everybody's been there, I remember all the old posts. So please, think of the newer players. There's a lot of new players, but I know some of these will affect everybody that I've just mentioned. And there are a few gripes that I do want to mention, just these small little things. The first off is going to be the outpost defense. Please make it to 24 hours. I understand from a developer's perspective why they did 12. They want you to log into the game more often. They want engagement up. And one way to do that is by going ahead and making sure you redeem your resources at least every 12 hours, but I think it should be every 24 hours because it does feel horrible to see 100%, and it's already been hours since it was 100%. The second thing too, and this is going to be more for new players. I know for us, have we already completed the content, this is no biggie, but all these rewards for the side missions, they need to increase the rewards because only the beginning ones really provided something actual of substance, but later on you get like 10 gems, and I think they improved it to 30 gems, I think. Yeah, that needs to be remedied. Come on, Shiftup. You need to do better with these rewards. And the last thing is going to be these cash shop costumes. These are overpriced. They really need to come down. I don't know if you guys remember. I know for the first day players you do. They had this special costume for Neon. I'll go ahead and show it to the screen right now so that way you guys could see it. Yeah, they have this special costume for Neon. This costume, I'm trying to remember. I think it was like $2 or $3. Yeah, it was from the cash shop. It was purchasable. It was for $2 or $3. They have never sold this costume ever again. So if you weren't here at the start of the game, you have missed out on this costume. I know not a lot of people use Neon, but I like having different costumes for my Nikkes. When the game first came out, I assumed that was going to be the normal price. The most was $10, but $20, that's highway robbery. There's a lot of these that aren't worth 20. They should really bring it down to 10 at most. And there's a lot of these that people would buy. I don't even have a mask, and I would still buy her costume. But at $20, I cannot recommend it. And there's a lot of nice costumes. Like for example, Maiden here. She's a very nice costume. Some of these I already do own from events, or we got some for free. But yeah, so I think they should just bring these down. I know these are just gripes. I don't think they're ever gonna do it, but I just wanted to give my thoughts. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give my thoughts on what improvements they could do to the game. I know everybody's at different points of the game. Some of you have already completed all the content. Some of you have just started. Some of you are at the wall. But everything I just mentioned is going to improve the game overall for everybody. I don't know exactly how everything's going to be done. I know the 1-year anniversary is going to come up, and ShiftUp has already stated that they're fixing, the rocket launcher and sniper rifle, blah blah messages, lost sectors, for example. All that stuff's getting fixed. I don't know what else they're going to do. Hopefully they mention some of the stuff I mentioned in the 1-year anniversary. That stuff needs to be improved. One thing that I wanted to mention is that for some of this list, since now that I'm live streaming, some of the chatters helped me out with the list, and they helped me think of some more things to say. They feel very passionate about Nikke as well. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop me a sub. I'm Scrublord, and I'll see you in the next one.